NBA superstar LeBron James appeared on the Bob Does Sports YouTube golf show recently and had some comments about the NBA in Memphis that made waves online. Listen to this.
At 41 years old, you think I want to do that? Being in Memphis on a random Thursday? I'm not like the first guy to even talk about it in the NBA. Like, we all like, you guys have to move. Just go over to Nashville.
All right. So the joke was made. I don't think LeBron's going to be appearing on the Grizzlies anytime soon. But are these LeBron comments about Memphis fair or foul, Stephen A?
They can be both. And I think it's important to mention that. I made noise last year because I talked about the city of Memphis that riled some folks up because they've had some issues. Mayor Paul Young, I think, has done an outstanding job because they've had issues with their crime rate, certainly still have issues with their poverty rate. Just look at where they rank in the national rankings, and that's certainly a subject to be debated, but he's definitely got them steered in the right direction, and I applaud him. In the same breath, when you're looking at the Memphis Grizzlies, also look at what Desmond Bain said about their facilities. And he wasn't talking about FedEx Forum because we all know that's a nice arena, but he was talking about their practice facilities and what have you when he got traded to the Orlando Magic and how being there was a breath of fresh air, that place was like a dungeon, et cetera, even though obviously he loves the city, he loves their tremendous fans, he loves the people. And so when LeBron James says something like that, I think that we get where he's coming from. As a player in Cleveland and then ultimately Miami, back to Cleveland and then L.A., he's been around and he knows a thing or two. He knows what he's heard about what Memphis has to offer as it pertains to its basketball teams and its facilities in comparison to other NBA teams. That's a story for another day that we don't have time to get into. Where it does become a bit foul is the fact that it's coming out of LeBron James' mouth, because it's a large black population in that city. And you need that team there, obviously, to assist in fueling the economy, because a lot of things about them are not, a lot of things about the city needs to improve. And we get that. There's some wonderful people there. And there's people there that's us. It looks like us, that are us. And they need our assistance. They need our support in every way, shape, form, and fashion. Nashville is definitely a thriving city. Nobody will deny that. And LeBron is not the first person to point out that Nashville is probably more equipped to have an NBA team than some would say Memphis is. But we know how detrimental it would be if Memphis lost that team, and that's something to be taken into consideration as opposed to speaking flippantly about it on a damn golf course. Not to mention the fact that LeBron was just months removed from promoting the city. I forget whether it was with his sneakers or something else, where it was commemorating Martin Luther King and civil rights and black history just months ago. And that's not consistent with the verbiage that was caught out of his mouth on a damn golf course. So I would say both things can be true here in terms of that question, Shay.
Kirk?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's all the way foul, and it's all the way out of bounds. I had an opportunity to actually meet Mayor Paul Young because I was down there 3 weeks ago because your boy Stone had a basketball tournament, and they rolled the red carpet out for me. I stayed at the Hilton Hotel, nice cozy beds, rubbed my feet together and got some great rest. Now, I will say this. Does Memphis rank at the bottom when it comes to NBA standard hotels? When you think about the Ritz-Carlton and Four Seasons, the Post Oak, Beverly Wilshire hotels like that, absolutely. But when LeBron comments and says they should just move to Nashville, Stephen A., you just highlighted, they got a lot of black people that are pissed off at those comments because it's 60 to 70% black people in Memphis right now in the inner city that look up, and the only hope that they have, the only hope that they have comes from having a professional team like the Memphis Grizzlies. And so when you think about when players are commenting and saying relocate and take their only hope away, and Mayor Paul Young is trying to uplift this city and trying to bring back that think about this. We talk about the practice facilities. Well, why all these damn billion-dollar tech companies moving to Memphis? They got a lot of money down there. They could help out and upgrade the practice facilities. The owner is not broke. He's one of the richest people in America. They could upgrade that. But here's another point I want to highlight to you, Shay, about old King James, LeBron James. Doesn't he have a I Promise school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the city that he grew up in Akron, Ohio, right? Because of the inner city kids, he want to give them hope, give them opportunity to be great in life. What if somebody told him to relocate that school and go somewhere else? How would he feel about it? See, this is what I'm saying. Like, what? Well, what?
Well, that's why I said both. It can be both, because on one hand, it's fair what he said about Memphis, meaning their facilities, talking about the team, but it's foul what he said about Nashville.
But he was talking about
Memphis relocating to Nashville.
He was talking, but he was talking about the hotels. And listen, what I'm saying is, it's nothing. I mean, I stayed at the Hyatt. I didn't stay at the Westin. All I'm saying is, it's not to NBA standard, but it's not just like it's just the worst thing in the world. But all I'm saying, he's all the way foul. And I don't think when he says things like this while he's playing with his rich friends on the golf course, that he's not actually thinking about the black community at that point.
He's not thinking. He certainly wasn't thinking about the black community on that golf course that moment. That's for sure.
Well, maybe his comments will raise some eyebrows, and maybe they will invest a little more into their facilities and a nicer hotel for the NBA teams when they roll through. Perk, thank you so much. We'll see you later. Perk.
Go ahead.
Perk, in the last month, the Lakers have looked like a completely different team. They have locked down defensively. They're playing more on both ends of the floor. They've sharpened their finesse
Not
a little
against
bit.
the reigning defending champion, Shay.
Right.
It's
this
a
is the
different
first time
level.
We're seeing that, though. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying I don't know that this blowout
I'm just saying
means
it's a different level.
Like in the postseason.
Look at it this way, Shay. Look at it this way. So all this noise is being made about the Lakers and what a challenge they could end up being in the Western Conference. And the reigning defending champions who have the San Antonio Spurs nipping at their heels with a 26-2 record over the last 28 games. And they're still in second place because Oklahoma City been winning too. And everybody talking about the Lakers 15-2 in the month of March, forgetting that Oklahoma City was damn near 15-2 in the month as well. And just ignoring the reigning champions with LeBron and Luka and AR coming into their city. They said, they looked at, this is what they did last night. All right, okay, all right, come on. Good. Y'all, you see, Shay, did you see that movie Straight Outta Compton? Remember that? You know
Yes.
that's a big time movie, right? With O'Shea Jackson, my man Ice Cube, and his son O'Shea doing big things. Love that brother right there. Love that brother. Love both of them. But you remember when you saw O'Shea Jackson playing Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton? And remember when they called him a Benedict Arnold? He said, Benedict Arnold, I ain't say nothing about them. All right. And then all of a sudden, he said, glad y'all done set it off. And he went in. That's what Oklahoma City did last night. They said up there, all right, okay, y'all talk about these, but let me show you who the hell we are. There's levels to this, and they ain't on it. That is what happened last night. I'm stealing Big Perk's line right in front of them. They got on the Lakers' ass like back pockets. That's what they did. I mean, before anything, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. This is LeBron. This is AR. This is Luka. And before anything happened, the first statement they made was shutting the Lakers down for the first 5 minutes. It's the first statement they made. Before they did anything, they sat up there and they let them know, not tonight. The 39 average and all of that. What you gonna do now? That's what the hell we saw on Prime last night, okay? I mean, it was so bad, the damn streaming signal got staticky. That's how bad it was. They were like, we might not want to watch more of this. This is bad. This is bad.
It was also bad because both teams sat their starters in the fourth quarter and had the reserves come in. The bigger issue here, though, is probably the health of Luka Doncic. Again, he is going to have an MRI today. I know. He's going to have we will later.